love you. Thank you for the day. I pray you'll bless this body as we conduct the city's business. Lord, lead us, guide us, and protect us in all that we do. In your precious name, we ask these things. Amen.
Amen. God, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gray. Honeycutt.
Here.
Radisi.
Here.
Helena. Here. Howard.
Here.
Landrum.
Here.
Joseph. Here. Dodson.
Here.
Crum.
We have four. We do have 7 minutes to approve. And ask for any directions or a motion to approve.
Motion to approve minutes as written.
I'll second. Got a motion second, all in favor, let it say, not be known as saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, minutes approved. Next, we have a application for a plat for Phase 1, Sector 2, 35 lots for Barimore. Well, Blair, I usually ask DJ at all the departments. Do you got any comments on this one?
Yeah, I sent my notes with the outstanding construction punch list items that are left for the streets and the storm sewers and things like that. It's all things that, in talking to Newcastle, they definitely do plan to address.
What about the street signs?
Yeah, I think that's the only one I think we need to go ahead and get the street signs up, since we are starting to address these lots and for emergency services.
Would you be agreeable to holding signature of the plat until the punch list is complete?
What's that?
Would you be agreeable to holding signature holding my signature on the plat until the punch list is complete?
That's what you guys tell me to do. I'm happy to do it.
Okay.
Jack, a lot of that punch list is the work right before dedication of streets. I do agree with the street signs, but that is my opinion, is the punch list as a whole.
Prior
Correct.
to, the punch list must be complete prior to going to council.
Well, Mr. Engineer, this stuff that we're talking about, other than street signs, they are doable, correct?
Yes.
Any questions? Any questions from the audience? We don't know what the broadband availability is. Of course, we haven't passed that modification. Council is probably a week away from passing that modification that requires broadband to be available on all before plans are presented.
The second reading on
But that's not passed yet, so I can't hold over that until the council passes it. Any questions from the council? Or from the planning commission?
I would like to see this, see the street signs up before it goes to council. So I'd like that to be part of the motion.
I have a question, Jack.
Yes.
On the street signs, the same item appeared in the February 17th meeting. So is there a representative here? Is that a problem?
We have temporary street signs up now. The permanent street signs and everything, we still haven't gotten from, we get them from out of the mailbox, they still haven't come in yet. The temporary signs are above the stop signs now. In there, so.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Alright, so we want to entertain with the punch sign, with the punch list, just the street sign. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve Barimore-Phase 1, Sector 2, 35 lots of one common area, with the exception in there to have the street signs up for this council.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, let it know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Plan is approved, and we'll go to council.
Yeah, it doesn't go to 96.
It's probably in September one.
Yeah, no, it'll be 90% complete of road.
before they dedicate.
So that's when it would actually go to council. So right now they're proceeding to move forward with the sector.
Thank you. Next plan is a modification of the master plan for Village Parkway. I think, everybody has seen the rendering. The proposal is on the backside on that back road to modify the master plan to allow townhomes. Have we got a layout of that?
I'm pulling. So there's the layout.
Mayor, could you help orient us as to where this actually is?
So, yeah, this property is currently zoned special district, and it's behind, Townhouse Road, going up by the Circle K and Deering Downs. This is that portion you can see, Townhouse Road towards the left of the screen. So you have 95 is the big road, and then this is that undeveloped area behind, Dr. Mallory's office, the Premier Dance Studio, all of that area.
Okay. Which has been undeveloped for 33 years.
Has been undeveloped for 33 years. Here, and I'll pull up.
There was some discussion of a buffer requirement. The nearest residential to that road is 400 feet away and is wooded on, except for the fire line is wood, and it's wooded on both sides of the fire line. So I think a better use of that 20 feet would probably be increasing the length of the driveways just for additional parking.
What about the playground area? Has that been addressed?
For this project? You want to approach? And Jack, or Bob, I guess you asked the question, about playground, what, I guess is defined as playground? Is it actually swing sets and slides, or is it a common area?
I'm reading from the comments by the city engineer. Is there gonna be a common area for the children?
There is a common area, I've seen one common area, and is it marked on there?
Yeah, there's a common area between the last building you see on the left side of the screen, and then the next 4-unit building, and then there's common area on the other side of that.
Mr. Engineer, you made a comment about a play area. Is that required for common area to be good enough?
That's in the R4 zoning.
And we addressed this kind of flatting.
Or the preliminary site plan, I guess.
And I presume it's probably in a common area, but I don't know the master.
Is there a parking issue? Is there a parking issue?
I don't believe so.
These single-car garages.
Single-car garages, and what we plan is for the driveway as well, have enough space to park 2 vehicles in the driveway, just knowing what, the townhomes are. I don't know if everybody uses their garages for the space to park their vehicles, so we felt like that was gonna be a necessary thing to have.
It was like 36 units.
34.
So I've got the R4 zoning pulled up, and section 7.5 says all townhouse developments must provide a playground/play area for children within the development, area size to be determined by the planning commission. Is that something that we need to do now, or can we do that in the plat phase? Okay.
And it's.
But technically, this is not a R4 zone.
No, it's not an R4.
Gotcha, okay.
Not an R4 This is technically a modification to an action plan that allows that use.
Okay.
Can I ask the builder or the developer, have you developed anything on the city of Helena?
Full development.
Or build, I guess. you should say.
Yes, built a lot of homes here in Helena over the last several years.
What are some of the examples?
Deering Farms, we did 6 of the houses in there. We've got one that just finished, 2 more going on some of the estate lots in Old Cahaba. And then we've done quite a few things in River Woods over the last 5 or 6 years. Picked up most of the lots that were remaining in there after signature was finished up in that subdivision.
So I say, I guess I asked that to really understand. You have experience building.
Yes. Yes.
Did you satisfy the parking spaces? The parking spaces, did we satisfy?
Yeah, and we'll address those at flat time and construction time. I don't know what the price range is going on these with.
Sorry?
You know what the price range of these are gonna be, or, well, estimate.
Not definite, yeah, I mean, certainly under 300, the like per unit, so.
So it will provide an inventory of more affordable housing than is currently in Helena.
We feel like it's something that's missing, yes, from Helena and many other areas right now, and we think we can provide that with this product. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So my question is on your design. Is this close to it as you possibly can get? And the reason I ask is because we've had discussions about the aesthetics of, particularly townhouses with cars parked out front on the street. Would it be possible to maybe reorient the garage so that parking in the rear?
The way that property lays out, doing rear entry garages it's not set up well for it at all, but unfortunately that piece of property, that's the only way I see being able to do it.
So the price will actually face the 95.
That's correct, yes.
And you'll have rear entry garages from.
They're
I'm not calling it Village Parkway, I'm not sure that's the true name of that street.
yeah, you'll enter into the garage from Village Parkway, which is in the direction of townhouse is facing as well from
And the only reason I ask the question, I know we've had discussions about, the aesthetics of particularly townhouses with, vehicles parked,
Sure.
parked in front.
Right.
I live on the other side of Helena, but I have a question. So you said,
Stand up and state your name,
oh,
please.
I'm Kelly Bergman, and I live in Helena. And my question for you is, you said it's affordable townhouses at no more than 300,000. I don't consider that affordable when you can buy a smaller home. So what really is your price range? So we're trying to draw people to Helena,
Sure.
and, we're trying to figure that out. I have several friends that want to live here, but the median house right now is over 400,000. So I'm not quite seeing how an affordable townhouse is 300,000.
Well, I said under 300, but I understand where you're coming from. I mean, I'm not gonna set a hard price on what I know that's gonna be, especially the way, as prices have just changed and things over the last few years.
Yeah.
I hope that gets better and we can hit a lower price point, but I think it's not as affordable on new construction as we can get right now.
And when do you plan to start?
We'd love to start this fall if we can get everything approved and move forward.
Any other
Square
questions?
keys each unit.
1,500.
Oh, please state your name.
Chris Van Cleef. Most folks know me, but my question is around care and upkeep. Will there be an HOA associated with this to help ensure the look and feel of this property going forward?
Yes, sir.
So included in that will be like the wall, y'all do all that. Or I'll run an HOA.
It'll be part of the HOA,
Yeah.
yes.
So this wouldn't look like a Hillsboro Lane or a Rocky Ridge currently where townhomes are. Yes.
And Larry, you asked a question about sidewalks. Sidewalks going to be included with this as well.
If we can set those back further, like we would like to do, we may have room to do a sidewalk down that. As of now, no, I don't have a sidewalk in that plan.
Yeah, Darryl, that was really related to the playground question, with it being special district. If this body doesn't require the playground, then the sidewalk might go away. That was just saying, if there was a playground, did they need to provide a sidewalk, provide access?
I'd like to see a sidewalk, they give you access to water.
About, new setbacks, increasing that for sidewalks and stuff. Currently, or would you be willing to consider, having spots for 2 vehicles, one inside a garage and one, and having the driveway long enough that you can park one in the garage and one outside?
Yeah, what we're wanting to do is have it where you could have one vehicle in the garage and actually up to 2 vehicles, room for that in the driveway, just in the event that you have a resident there who's not got the room, they fill their garage up with stuff and they need, park 2 cars, they have room in their driveway to do that.
That could happen whether you had a 1-car garage or a 2-car garage.
Yeah.
Will it be covered this morning?
Yes.
Recorded.
And now I'm thinking out loud on this, but, we do sidewalk and we want to create conflicts by crossing driveways, and then the driveway's not long enough, you have to, blocking the sidewalk.
Good.
I'm thinking out loud, so.
Any other questions from the audience?
Behind me.
Any other questions from the commission?
Yes, to the show, yes. There's a power line easement that runs through a portion of that.
Yeah, can I, for a point of clarification, I'm David Stovall, we're engineering design group, we're working with them on this project, we'll be tasked with designing. Can we, if we're not gonna discuss the details of the common area requirement and the, can't remember what the other option, the sidewalk issue or something else, before we go to the planning commission with the subdivision plans, how do we get an understanding of exactly what the city's gonna require before we do the design work?
Some of that will be probably included in any motion that's made tonight.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Well, my question was going to be, why can't you have a rear entrance garage?
There's a power line easement that's running through behind that.
The nearest residence from that road is over 400 feet.
Yes, sir, it's quite a way.
And there's a power line and a wooded area on both sides of the power line.
With the other issue would be, especially if we're trying to get a minus 300 price point in there, if we had to build a drive around the back to backfeed those roads, you're talking about tripling the cost of this, the infrastructure of this project. Especially with the way that the topography works, everything's pretty much down and up. And so to be able to get a driveway in the back and get all the grading in between the back of the units and the power line would be a pretty arduous task and really expensive, especially if what we're trying to do is creating here something that's under that 300 price point. That's going to make it really, really difficult.
First, you're limited with the pipeline access in front. There's a pipeline right away, plantation right away in the front.
Right across the street, yes, sir.
I would like to just add an off-the-record comment that I live in a subdivision a couple of streets over from that long one that you see there. And when my boy was young, there's no traffic on that back road where these are gonna be. They had bike paths and the dirt's back there, and I always felt it was a safe area for my kid to go down there and play because no one ever goes on that street, even with the current, even with the traffic that's on there now. But I think that just having the parking in the front is sufficient.
Okay, well, I will say that road, Village Parkway, is currently a private road, I believe. So anything on that road or in that property where the trails are and stuff like that would be trespassing.
No, that was the old days. I mean, we've been here 30 years.
So would you be turning over Village Parkway?
Yes, dedicated grant, yes.
just clarification, going back to the parking requirement, those parking spaces will have to be outside of the right of way, is that correct? For the off-street parking ordinance? Okay, so just make sure those parking spaces would be outside of the public right of way. Okay.
Well, of course, any construction and the planning will have to meet all subdivision regulations. And the parking, right? Well, parking is a separate ordinance, isn't it? But it's still enforceable as a subdivision regulation.
Yeah, it's the off-street parking is in zoning reg, it's standalone, but in road park, it's related to any off-street, whether it be residential or commercial.
Sure.
Is there anything that you want us to add?
Yeah. Pardon?
I don't believe so. If y'all got any more questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I just didn't know if there was anything that you were hoping we'd ask you that we hadn't asked yet.
You said it's 34 units? Yes. Okay, the site plan, if I'm counting correctly, looks like 36.
Yeah, 36.
Is it 36? I apologize.
Yeah, because now your rendering shows a building of 6 units.
Right.
And these are all 7.
7. Right.
Except for the 2 on the end.
Okay, 3 bedroom, 2 bath.
There's no other questions? We'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve modification to the master plan on Village Parkway.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it know by saying aye. All opposed? Modification to the master plan is approved. Brian, I think we had a discussion that we didn't feel like this. We got one more. Next on the agenda is a pre-zone for an annexation request. A1, B1, and B2 and B1 to land commercial district. Is that, can you hear? Yes, sir. Yes, hey. What are we doing here?
My name is Patel.
This is on Morgan Road.
Yes, sir.
Right after you get to the new Publix.
Right next to the, right down the street.
Right down the street.
Yes, sir. We want to develop as like a gas station and some other rental space and the fast food.
Is that gonna take up the whole 12 acres?
No, not for 4 acres. This is only usable in the front, only about acre and a half or 2 acres. It's not all of them usable. We're not going to use all of them, just only the front part only.
Is it currently in the county or since this is a free zone for annexation?
We're going to annex in the city of Helena, it is in the county.
Currently, Shelby County is zoned B1, A1 on this front line properties to
The county zone is B1 on.
Huh?
What is the county zone?
The county zoning is, you have one parcel on 95, or 52, I'm sorry, that is B1. You have one parcel on 52 that is B2, and then you have the back acreage, which is A.
That was the county.
That's the county current zone. So they could go build a gas station in Shelby County, right?
And if we annex it without a free zone, it would all be A1.
No, it would be B1 and B2.
No, if we annex it, it comes in as A1
Not anymore.
without a free zone.
Pre-zoning ordinance 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's, yeah, but we,
And so essentially what we're doing is we're just, we're changing the zoning to match our zoning.
You said you wanted to put a gas station fast food restaurant. What else on that space?
Just any other, maybe just extra space for the, maybe renting to the insurance or anybody, or we will just have a.
Like an office space?
Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And that's,
I'm not real familiar with the area, but surrounding, are there any residential areas surrounding this?
On the backside.
back, I believe backside is,
Adjacent property owners.
We were not notified when this was happening, and also something that you guys.
Ma'am, could you stand up and give us your name?
My name's Linda Brooke. I live where this property is happening. I live off of Hollow Oak Road. It's gonna be right, the curve and everything there, it is not feasible to put something like that there. It's already dangerous, already totaled one car trying to pull out there. I am a new, landowner, worked hard for it, but with a convenience store there, also, somebody needs to do some digging. That Mr. Wicks that owned the property years ago, he had it as a landfill, and there's no telling there was no limit what you could dump in that property. So what kind of, toxins are you gonna arouse that have been laying dormant? But it was a landfill back there.
Your property butts up to the back of this
Yes,
section of property?
yes. I mean, it will be in my front door. Myself, there's just no feasible way to put something like that there, because if you're familiar where McAbee Motors is, how dangerous that curve is, how can you put a convenience store in a strip mall right there?
But you could also do that under the current zoning.
Sir?
The county zoning already allows that.
It's gonna be dangerous. And where does that, something, because I am a new landowner and all there, we were not notified about it. And also, my land was surveyed, and I didn't know anything about it. So somebody enlightened me.
Are you enlightening to what?
I mean.
Trying to buy her out or what?
Yeah, why was my land surveyed and, the little orange markers all through my land?
Does your land border hit this
Yes,
property? Well,
yes.
That's part of the deal. It's part of the procedure is to mark the boundaries.
On my personal property?
Yeah, it depends on the surveyor. It depends on the surveyor, the device he uses. I mean, I've seen it done. I deal in land a lot, and I've seen it done before. He puts his stakes to mark his boundaries, and sometimes your interpretation of a boundary, I can't speak for the surveyor, but sometimes, not much, but they do often vary. Surveyors are using equipment now that's a lot more precise than it used to be, and it's common for slight variations.
There's also a convenience store where the Old Town and Country he is building a new convenience store right there. So, Scott's in the process of doing that where they tore down the, Town and Country, the one country store, at the top of South Shades Crest and, Morgan Road 52. So there's gonna be a convenience store there. They are in the process of doing it.
Ma'am, what did you say your address was?
My address is 3479 Morgan Road. It's also 32 Hollow Oak Road.
Okay, so 3481 Morgan Road, is that what you said? I'm sorry?
No,
That's Alabama.
3479.
132, Holloway.
And then 132 is my neighbors on down the dirt road, but I'm 32 Hollow Oak Road.
So in the 132, Holloway.
That's on that, they're down at the end, but I'm 32.
Mr. Patel.
yes, sir.
I would like to see a window between your development, land development, and any residential property.
Yes, sir.
I guess zone it to a special district, there will be a site plan required.
There will be a full site plan required, yes, if at special district. If it stays in the county or comes in exact zoning as it is today in the county, we would have to follow our zoning ordinance for B1, B2, which is not as stringent as special district.
Require a site.
Correct. And it looks like the document that was sent this afternoon to me has a 50-foot buffer between development and the property line on the back side or the front side, and then, sorry. So you're doing one of these trees. So 50 front, 50 back, 15 in this small stretch, and then 50 on the other side. So almost 50-foot buffer around the entire property.
What's gonna be required on that green belt? Are you gonna require them to leave trees there so you can block the residents some?
Well, our definition of a green belt is a 20-foot buffer and or fence.
You provide,
Yes, sir, we will do that, and of course, the lady says about in the front, I can build in, wherever we develop the gas station inside that my property, we can make wider and wide the road as the entrance for safety of the people in and out, and safety of those driving on 52. Safety is the first priority for everybody, because who's coming to, as my customer, we want to take care of them too.
Of course, that would be addressed at any future site.
Yes, sir, we will address that, and I appreciate it for bringing that my, our attention, and already have a plan already.
Are you planning on using Hollow Oak Road for?
No, ma'am, 52, just main entrance from 52.
But you are aware that there was a dump site many years ago?
Yes, it could be, but we done whatever we have done all that, and we're going to put only one-story building. It's not going to be very heavy structure, so it should be fine.
But you're gonna dig gas tanks, are you not?
We will take care, yes ma'am, all that, yes ma'am.
I said,
Before we
you're only
build
gonna develop on the front side of that, but you said the back side is not going to stay undisturbed, right?
I'm sorry.
The front side of the development, up against Morgan Road.
Yes, sir.
That's where the development will be, the back side, will stay undisturbed, correct?
Yes.
How far back will it go?
We don't have to, whatever we're trying to do is just minimize the building for the gas station only. Yeah. And if we don't have enough space, we will not, we're just in the beginning stage right now. So once we bring the site plan, then we will know, and we will try to, just, we don't have to build bigger than what we needed really.
We'll see. Farrell Drive, I live on Farrell Drive, it's a private drive. It bumps your property. Gary Walls, I'm sorry, Gary Walls. But, Farrell Drive runs right down beside that property you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
It's a private drive there.
Yes, sir.
There's 5 houses on there, we all live on that road.
Yes, sir.
So, I wanna know, we live between your property you're talking about and the.
Behind my property, yeah.
No.
This is in between me and you.
Can you pull the plat back up and put it back on?
So you go down that road, there's 5 houses on that road, at dead ends, and we're all family.
Oh.
Every one of them. So, but our road runs right down beside that property all the way down, the dead ends. And behind us is the Publix.
Oh, okay.
So how are you gonna build it and leave all that tree space, and our road runs right alongside your property?
Well, we will, once we will let the architect know to design that way, and how many, like I said, all we wants to put maybe 2,500 to 3,000 square feet building for the gas station only.
You do know there's 2 more gas stations going down at the next red light they're putting in. When you turn to go to Cherokee Beach, there's 2 more convenience stores going in there.
Probably so, there is another, but we're trying to build a nice facility for the,
But I'm telling you, I've lived there 35 years, and it takes me in the mornings, sometimes 15 minutes to get out of my driveway.
Thank you.
In the evenings, it takes, if you come home at 5 o'clock in the evening, you better be squinching up your butt trying to turn in your driveway, you're gonna get rear-ended.
Yep. I've already totaled one.
So, I mean, it's not feasible to put a convenience store. You got one at the top of the hill, then you go down the hill, you turn to Cherokee Beach, and there's 2 more going in there.
Where is Cherokee Beach?
93.
The new traffic light.
There's one on each corner going in down there.
So I have a question about traffic then.
Stand up, state your
Oh,
name, please.
I already stated my name, Kelly Bergman. So at South Shades Crest and 52, where they're doing all that mapping of the road and everything, we have lights that don't have a turn signal. So you can wait on Shades Crest 30 minutes to get through that light if somebody's trying to turn left and there's people going on Shades Crest north from Highway 1 connection to Shades Crest. So are we going to have lights there that have turn signals? Are they going to delay the traffic and allow turns like they do in other parts of the city? When are the lights at 93 going to be working? Because now that school's in session.
So I can address one of those.
Okay, which one?
I can address both of them. Number one, the South Shades Crest Morgan Road intersection is Jefferson County and their construction teams, and we have very little say-so in what they do. The Shelby County intersection of 93 and 52, we have a lot more say-so because it's Shelby County, and they like to participate with us. They're only waiting on one, the radar piece for the lights to be able to judge the speeds of cars coming down the hill. And as soon as it comes in, which they're expecting October, those lights will be up and running.
So it's still dangerous from now till October, and then we hope that the supply chain won't impact that, correct? Okay, now, so in Jefferson County, and we all approved it because you have to jointly do it because it's right there at Shelby County.
No, ma'am.
So they can just build a road, dump traffic, and cause issues.
52 at the Jefferson County line going Morgan Road is Jefferson County roads. We get no say so.
Okay. And you are who? I'm sorry.
Mayor Puckett.
I'm sorry?
Mayor Puckett.
Okay.
And then the Morgan Road or 52 side south is Shelby County roads. And we do get a little bit of say so, but ultimately they're the ones that own those roads and maintain those roads.
Okay, so when they decided to develop the publics and everything, right, they did not consult you because of that traffic at all coming this way?
We didn't even have a clue.
So who do we need to talk to in Jefferson County then? Okay, but who do we need to talk to as residents of Shelby County that we're drastically impacted by this? I mean, she's totaled a car. I can't tell you how many issues. I mean, I sit for an hour, so I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, ma'am.
I would assume Shelby County Commission.
Okay, so that's who do we talk to?
The Jefferson County representative.
Okay, and who is that? Do you know?
It's Jimmy Stevens.
Okay.
Commissioner Stevens on the Jefferson County side.
All right, I'll be in touch with him tomorrow. Because this cannot, I mean, you're adding all of this commercial traffic to a road that's already had issues, and it's got even more issues. And we're hoping this light at 93 is going to control some of those issues. We would like to see the light at Shades Crest control it too, because it is dangerous. Because when we come out for work, if I don't leave by 6:20 or 6:30, I am not going to do well trying to get out at 6:45 with all the school traffic and all the work traffic. And I'm not the only one. There's a ton of people that live on 93 and all those subdivisions. Correct. And we're all taxpayers here.
I pull out there every morning. A big part of the issue there, and this is what it all comes down to, is County Highway 52, which is Shelby County Highway 52, and the line becomes Jefferson County Highway 52, known as Morgan Road. And the county line is just south of South Shades Crest Road, which is also a Shelby County Road and a Jefferson County Road. And that one actually, you'll drive for a quarter of a mile in either direction, going towards Hoover or going down towards, what is it, Bluff Ridge, no, the other way, going down, you'll go a quarter of a mile through where it says Jefferson County Maintenance ends and then Jefferson County Maintenance begins. And you're dropping in and out of Shelby and Jefferson County roads. And then you've got Helena in part of it, you've got Hoover in part of it, so you've got at least 4 jurisdictions there of road maintenance and engineering there. So it's
I would think that somebody would communicate with each other. We're all, you know, we have a tax base and we have adults here that, you know, okay, this is impacting everybody. Why are we not communicating with each other to get this worked out in a better fashion? And then we're trying to add a business, which adds tax base to us. I understand. But until you can work out the traffic pattern, how can you even look at this?
Mr. Patel, what are you currently zoned in Shelby County for those front properties?
I believe this property is a part of the property is B2?
B2, which you can go put a gas station today?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You can put a gas station there today if it's not B2 in the county.
And one more thing, I maybe can allow me to, like this is something, I'm not driving the traffic from outside. This gas station will help the residents here. It's not into anybody pulling, just, this is just right there who's driving day and night from there.
Yes.
Only those people coming to use my facility or we serve them pretty much. And
But
I
when
can-
they're turning in and coming out,
Yes,
that, is there another way you can direct traffic so that it's not all dumping right there in that intersection on 52 and blocking their
We're not gonna
roads?
be able to pull out of our
Yes.
roads because, you're gonna be having your traffic going there and now there
Can we
we
take a
are.
pause from the audience and let the commission members, can we take a pause from the audience for the time being? Because I know some commissioner, or some board members have questions for the.
5-minute recess if you would.
No,
No, we're not recess.
I'll just pause.
Well, I think, what I understand, tell me if I'm wrong. And I do. The rezone to a special plan commercial district allows us, not necessarily this time, as this develops, it allows us to have a lot more control to address concerns than we would under a flat zoning category as D1 and D2. There's a level of control we have.
We don't require a sign or all plan. We do for special.
Well, I think another point that we need to bring up for our folks who are in opposition is to understand that he is currently zoned in Shelby County, which means he could start building today. That's what he wanted to do. So the fact that Mr. Patel is bringing it to our attention for the city of Helena to zone it, he wants to bring the property into the city of Helena. Kind of piggybacks off what Bob's saying, it actually gives us some control on helping with the design of the traffic flow, helping to decide what goes in there, what doesn't, versus him being in the county. He can start right now. And we have zero input on what he gets on his property, because that's Mr. Patel's property.
So long as you'll address these issues and not just push it through, that's what we want to know.
Sure.
Sorry, I have an insulin pump that's having a problem.
Yes, transfer blood pressure.
My
No,
name's
it's
Martha
actually
Joseph, and I live in Old Town. I need some streets paved, but I'll get with you later. By 2030, everything has to be electric. You gonna have plugs in your gas station? With all these gas stations going in, nobody's talking about electricity.
I know, but I hope we will try.
And I'm worried because I don't have an electric
understand.
motorcycle either.
Not gonna own one.
I know, but I hope not going allow. But
You
we
might
will
want
try
to
to
put a
maybe.
plug or two in there.
We want to
Still
look into
open for
options
fossil
for
fuels.
the electric vehicle too down the road for charging. That is the good we can.
That's only 8 years from now.
I know, but still, is like that's still long. I believe it's a long time. Since a lot of we develop other gas stations too in different part of the Birmingham, and I hope we do all, and we will see that time, maybe whatever is.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
Hold on, Daryl has a.
Daryl has a question.
Yes, I have. Wait patient. So, what I was gonna suggest, and, is not so much even a question, but I suggest, I mean, we've heard concerns about traffic. And, with it being convenience store and gas station, I think it warrants, an impact study. But I was gonna add, if we could also do an intersection control evaluation along with it. And that way, we could look at, not just the impact of what's coming in and out, but what kind of intersection it needs, whether it has to be, a right in or right out, or arc, whatever kind of intersection we need to go along with that. And then, have, so make it, have this be contingent, upon us getting that traffic study, and then using that traffic study to figure out what kind of mitigations we need.
But we'll be able to even
Yes.
mitigations on the county roads.
Well, I mean, it'll give something that we can take to account.
We could, yeah, and they could lie to our race, but that's, hopefully the new traffic coordinator and everybody at Shelby County will not say, go away like they have in the past.
So, like I said, this is
I want to
gonna be
confirm as well that all of these issues would be discussed in the site plan section of this process, correct? Because this is a pre-zone, this is a pre-zone request for an annexation, not site plan, not traffic, not anything else. It's, do we want this piece of property to potentially be annexed into the city of Helena at this zoning? That's it.
With this,
And
Yes.
look, Laura, I mean, I think that's kind of what I'm saying is like, you know, let's go ahead, you know, accept it, but know that when that site plan comes, we have that traffic.
Needs to be
Right.
done at that time.
Right.
So with that being said,
Can I add
make a
something?
motion to approve the pre-zone to special district plan commercial district.
all right, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please, ma'am.
Gray,
Aye.
Monica,
Aye.
Reducing,
Aye.
Caliendo,
Aye.
Langell, Holland,
Aye.
Donaldson,
Aye.
Joseph.
Motion passed. And we'll go to the city council with a recommendation for a pre-zone special district in September. Yes. Okay. May I ask one question? Yes.
My name's Roger Smith. I live on Farrell Drive. There's gonna be about 110 foot between Hoover and Helena. Will y'all annex us into it as well?
If you want to, we would love to have you rather than Hoover have you.
5 houses.
We would love you.
It's either Hoover's gonna get us or y'all gonna get us.
Exactly, and we prefer, I mean, Hoover snapped up the
What do we need to do to get in Helena?
Just email me.
I told you to talk to you about it.
Hey, I retired a few months ago, so did my email.
I said, see him in, see him in.
email the city clerk Amanda Trawick, and she can help anybody walk through that process. She's the city clerk.
Can I ask one question? Do you have other developments in the city of Birmingham?
Yes, ma'am.
What, like, do you have fast food in them as well?
Due to site, we did not have a fast food at that location. We have different things, but up here, pretty much we can add the fast food in the gas station because there is no food around here.
Yeah.
So that's what we were planning.
Okay. But you do have other.
Yes, ma'am. We done yeah.
Meeting adjourned, thank you.
I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'll be uploading this onto Jana Mae Realtor YouTube channel, and I'll be able to adjust the sound. But y'all have a good night. That was a good meeting. Until Monday, bye y'all.